And good morning, people. Welcome back to Jade Cocoon 2. We're getting closer to the end of the Darkness Forest. Just a little bit. We've still got some pretty substantial encounters still to come along. But we're getting there. We've got one more direction to go in the water forest, then we'll be done there. We've got two more in the wind, earth and fire. So let's go for the wind, which should be over here. I did go and check to see if the skill I want is going to appear, and as you can see from Mac and Shaggy being their baby forms, it does not. So I've just done the merge, so I've got them leveling up already. Shaggy did have a change in skill. He's now got Barrion instead of Ramakite. That may be an issue later on. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one is better, but I did it for the upgrade of from Vitality 1 to Vitality 3. Which is the reason for that. Mac just replaced Dad Slanet, so yeah, still got just the 3 skills. Still waiting on Beast's 5th merge though, which is why we're going to the Wind Forest. We should pick up the skill I want for him in here. There's only really one way we can go right now, and that is through this gate, since, well, we've done everything on the other side, so let's open it.
Cool, it opened! Just as I thought.
Really? But the path still goes on. Don't get careless, Kahoo.
Yeah, let's not get too careless, but really, the enemies here are pretty much exactly the same on this side. Dimwit book that I reduces attack or defense. Drop speed. So heavy speed drop. Not bad if you've got a slow team, I suppose. And a hide spore, which could be useful if you wanted just to get through enemies like I am right now. Don't want to fight the ones here because, well, we're going into an area next which I do want to fight enemies. Whirlwind level 2. It's a large area, but the enemies here are these. We should actually be getting the Seed Beast for this here. And they do happen to come with an Og, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but not by much. I'm actually convinced that the ones in the Wind Forest might use their skill, Sama Kilna, I believe, for dropping the defense a bit more than the one that we saw in the Fire Forest. Of course, they could just prove me wrong and just attack normally anyway. But that should be the alternate group. The other one should probably be free of the bugs. Let's just fight them. Yeah, free of the moth-like bugs here. So definitely say that the one with the dog is more dangerous. But when you're talking about these which die in one hit, we're not really talking risk of death. Oh no, they've woken up, they're still going to die in one hit. The only one I'm not sure about killing them in one hit is actually my beast, because he's not quite as strong as the other two yet. And the experience here is actually fairly bad. 765? Ugh. Anyways, I'm going to finish up these. We've seen the two formations that will occur. And there should be just 2 more enemies. So yeah, I do need the experience though, because my beast, a couple of my beasts are on level 1. So those 4 encounters have given me 1 level. On Mac and Shaggy, not bad. I'll take anything right now, so yeah. There should be just the 2 Ogre Vines. One should have the key spore and the other should have this.
This not fight?
See? I thought this wasn't a fight.
This war. War of human and Kalmaman. Live or die.
I choose live. But this is, most obviously, the Mammon. The fully evolved version of the moths we had just outside. And strangely enough, you didn't do your skill. Okay. We may not see it then. Unless you resist this. You did, that's good. Odd. Usually this thing does it. In the last couple of times I've just come down to make sure it's here. It's done its skill each time. I guess it just doesn't want to do it today. It would have done a lot more damage if it had, because Samakilna does reduce defense of the enemy. Oh, here we go. It's on near death, why not now? So yeah, that reduces defense of the enemy by a fair chunk. I believe it's likely 50 or 75%. So you don't really want to get hit by it, but if you're using a hitter team, or if you're using any real damage team, yeah, it's a good way of taking them on. And this one should be the key spore. This area is not very big, it's not very in depth, it's a square with a couple of oak vines. And the princess vine. Done. This next one, however, has an enemy which we haven't seen for a while. but it's the wind version of it rather than the earth. So, sorry, rather than the fire. So we should be fine. Yeah. The issue with these ones is their their petrification attack has the opportunity to instantly do it. So if Adrocker, as it's called, hits, instant petrification. Of course they do need to do the skills, and enemies seem to not be wanting to do it lately. Ah, Adrocide, sorry. And you look like you missed. Which isn't too good. Well, it isn't too good for you, it's good for me. But I do have a way of returning them to normal, which is Somnus. Yeah, there's also some Navis here. And that group is just a single Navi and Hellskelter, is it? Yeah, it might be called a Hellskelter. Or is that the fully evolved version? I'll have to look into that. It's probably the fully evolved in this one. Name something different. But again, that's the two formations that I know of here. If there's anything new, anything else, I'll show it, but I don't think there will be. I think it's all the same from this point. So yeah, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, and this area is done. Pretty much the same, similar layout to last time. 2 ogre vines, 1 princess vine, and a square platform. I'm hoping that the yep, there it is.
Fight, fate, fate, death.
There's gotta be another way.
No. Human Kalma Man. Only one survive.
Let's go for human. Yeah, but this should be the Hellskelter? No, the Waylon. Well, have I got my things mixed up here? I very well may do, unless I'm... Why am I a bit confused here? Agroside... Oh, I know why this doesn't... This isn't on my list. This actually has a very big detriment to it as a seed beast. Which we'll get into when I go back to the temple. It's fairly strong. It is a Og after all. It's a fully evolved dog, so their attack is fairly high. Although this one is more magical based than a typical Og. And as normal, Ogs have lots and lots of defense. Thank you for guarding. And there we go. And level 3 for Mac. Excellent. So that's the Waylon. And this one should have the key spore. So we can move on. Fairly straight path now if you want to go straight to the boss. I do have one path I want to go down which doesn't have the boss though. Luckily I know which route is which. Okay enemies, where are you? I want to show you off. This is probably one of the larger islands, and there's our two types of enemies. The poison, which is the one I want, and also the Mao, which actually is also what I want. These groups will hit hard. Poison Storm is a very strong attack, and the bugs that I'm facing actually have a good amount of strength as well. Sadoon. Sadoon removes, as you can see, poison my water thing, removes the ability to guard status effects. So yeah, I think you can see where that and that combination of enemies with the Mao and two poisoners actually makes sense. It also, I believe it removes all natural resistance, so if you have so if you have a water beast, it will still you'll still be able to sleep it, poison it with good proficiency. There is still the chance that the attack will miss. But really, having Sadoon is not a bad thing if you want to hit your status effects, and this group is just as bad actually. So one group has one Mao and two bugs, and the other group has two Maos and one bug. Definitely the one with two bugs is more dangerous because there's more chances of them hitting us. And they're the earners, apparently. But yeah, nice little synergy type combat here for the enemy. Just need to make sure I'm not on the end of everything. This area is slightly larger, so there's going to be 4 or 5 groups more to go through, so I'm going to go through that, and I will meet you at the end if there isn't any more formations, which right now doesn't look like it. There I was off in my own little world, and I just noticed that this is a new formation. Okay, darkness and poison, so with Sadoon. So Sadoon will just remove resistances. That means darkness can 100% hit, or no, it doesn't 100% hit, or mostly hit. I think poisons are more dangerous than darkness anyway, so and with nothing else around to actually put things on, yeah. If you want to combo Sadoon up with anything, instant death is a good one to go with. It's not on the same line, unfortunately, so there is that. The petrification skill is a good one, and the one I'm going to be using it with is that and sleep, I believe. Yeah, so I'm going to hopefully be guaranteeing my sleeps, even against water creatures. Okay, I do believe we are now done with the enemies here. There were quite a few of them, but this Princess Shrine here is the one that leads to the boss. So yeah, this is the one I'm not going to go through. Spineless Book, I believe that reduces attack. Drops defense. Okay. I'm going to get one of them right at some point. And you are the Mal.
Human hunt Kalma Man. From now on, Kalma Man hunt human.
I won't let you.
So what are you called? The Irina. In my opinion, one of the best looking fully evolved in the game. There are a couple of other ones I like. I like the Og Knuckle Chew. The Ku ones aren't great. What's the other one? The other males aren't really that good, but this one is fairly nice. I like the Sword and Shield Gara there. Actually, the Garas are all pretty good. Thinking about it. But I'm being a bit diverted from the actual thing. Of course, this is just a Mao with Sadoon. It's not exactly a tough challenge. doesn't have a real attacking skill, so it doesn't really have any chance of really hurting me. So there is that. And level 4 for Shaggy. Excellent. So that's one down. The other one should be nearby. Heck, it's right here.
Human hunt Kalma Man. From now on, Kalma Man hunt human.
I won't let you.
And this should be the Cat Eye Mel. There it is. This one has Poison Storm. This thing hits extremely hard. This has always been the bug style I feel is the most useful, because its strength is actually ridiculous for a divine beast. However, you have to get past its low everything else. Which makes them so hard to use. I suppose if you do raise them up well, those bugs are probably some of the hardest hitters in the game, outside of rocks. It does help that that has strength up 3 on it though. Everything else here should really be, we can book that. Is that attack down? Yes, that one is attack down. Everything else here should be items I don't believe we're going to be seeing any more. Karmas for sea beasts. And yeah, this last one should have the key spore in. So that's the key spore, and we can go through this gate. It specifically says on my notes, near key spore to go through. So this better be the one that takes me away from the boss. It is. So, next time, one last island for the Wind Forest, and then we'll head over to the Earth, and then the Fire, and then we'll start on the actual bosses themselves. The bosses for these islands are no joke. I also need to do my merge next time for my beast, which is going to be very nice. But yeah, we've got a lot coming up. So until then, have a wonderful day, have lots of fun. Goodbye.